Over the past few weeks I've been stripping down this Mercedes Sprinter donor van in order to get mine back on the road, pulling off as many parts as I can off it of use, with varying success.
Bollocks!
Last time I removed the rear leaf springs and suspension components, and in this video that's where we'll carry on from. Once I'd taken them back and double checked that they do fit mine, I took them and a few other bits over to Jeff's where he was going to show me the ropes on sandblasting. He ran me through the basics, showed me all the do's and don'ts, and then basically just left me to it. But annoyingly, very quickly into the process we found that the cameras weren't picking anything up. It just went a bit like this. So we just had to carry on without.
We did it on the lights on the trailer as well. And it's really fancy new lights. I was like, look at these, and they're just like flashing everywhere. LED, innit? Yeah. So can you reuse saddles a few times then?
This stuff we can, only if it's on rubbish.
Yeah.
Like your stuff. If we're doing classic cars or classic chassis, we don't reuse any of it because you re-inject the rust into the body shell or anything like that. That'll do you, mate, that'll be fine.
Sure.
Yep.
I got everything back to the barn where it is now completely blasted back to bare metal and now ready for a fresh new lick of paint. Emma's spare wheel got thrown in as well because that was looking a bit tatty. And as for the rear shocks, although the bottoms of the covers had blown a little bit, these were still good to use. So I got all this in its first lick of paint, went down and picked up the front shocks that I'd ordered and got started on the front suspension. Oh yeah, that's definitely shot, this one. Yeah. It's absolutely cooked. That's why we like that, going around the bloody road. Right, let's transfer this shit over there. How do you do this? One. That's the suspension done on the front. Now for the big problem child at the back. So I've got a little compressor on the back there. I'm going to use that to pump the airbags up on the emergency valve, get it up to the height I need it, and then I'm going to jack it up a little bit further than that and try and find a point where I can block the chassis up so the back end's off its wheels, and I could drop all the wheels off and I've got enough room underneath to work, because I'm going to need as much room as I can to get breaker bars in and break all these goddamn nasty ass bolts. So before the end of play today, I'd like every bolt that I've got to basically take off doused in WD. That over the weekend will penetrate in and I'll get under again and do it every day. Get the bolts all nice and limbered up, because that's what I did on the truck and I think that helped me massively. Any problem ones, I'm going to get the old fire torch on and burn them off. And yeah, basically just start to disassemble the main C-shaped arms that hold all the airbags on. First port of call, I don't want to touch any other part of the air suspension until I know I can get all that off, because if something goes really badly wrong and I've got to put it all back on, I need the system there basically. Right, let's get this thing pumped up. Excuse the mess. The compressor only went up to 6 bar, but the van required 8, and with the amount of leaks in the system, I could only get it inflated about halfway. Hey, where can we go here then that won't foul what I'm doing? Nowhere apparently. I know. Got some big dirty axle stands that can't do what I need them to do. Ow. Fuck you, man. Probably a bit too much angle. Over the dangle. I'm gonna go right there. If you'll let me, will you let me? let me. Not without a bit of a jack assistance. Oh, come on. Just. Are we really going to go off there? No. Right, I'm going for a slight compromise. Take the wheels off now and then lower it onto the lowest post. Because I've still got to live in this and it can't be like that. So I'll have to make do with what room I've got underneath. I can get to everything. It just means I don't have to jack it right up in the air. I need to go and get that one. And this is where all the washers go. Ding, 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 ding. Just like that. Whoa. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. Oh, a little bit more.
To my standards, level enough.
Right, I'll just give you a quick run through of the current air suspension. So that's the original leaf spring front bracket. It uses that. The one airbag there goes over the top of the axle. Another airbag there. But then that's it. It stops. But you've got the old other carrier, rear carrier there, which used to hold. That's a bit of a tail lift bracket there. But in the middle over there, you've got the air tank. There's a unfathomable amount of different sensors and switches and pressure things. That's the compressor box, which if you've been watching for a while, you've seen me change that already once. That'll be coming off. Just get the other side into this sort of stage, and then start WD and everything. And that'll be it for today, I think. Because it's the weekend, Emma's bringing her dog. I'm going to crack a cider and enjoy a much needed day off. Another problem I'm going to have, and it's the reason I think why I've never found the leak, that airbag doesn't come off. The other three do. That one, the bolts up in there, have gone. They've become part of the bracket, and you can see how badly rusted the bracket's gone, because that middle section there is how thick it's supposed to be. That section there is what it is. So yeah, this air suspension system is about shot. It's not built the best, I'll be honest. They didn't treat the metal, which is why this is the rustiest part of amber. And it's just a real shame. But, well, them, innit? These just get filled up with crud. You got to unearth the bolts. That's why they get so rusty in the first place. God, I gotta stop off-roading, man. And yeah, I'm going to have a bit of a faff with all these wheel arches and... We're still so... Oh, hello. Ooh. Oh dear. You're still solid though. Thank God. Just fill you right up and you do your magic. I don't think I'm going to ever find you guys, but I'll just fill you anyway. There we are. Bit of you, bit of you, bit of you, and you. Fire all in there as well. God, absolutely nuke it with a WD. There's the old shock bolt up there, but I don't really want to clamber all the way underneath while it's on stand, so... Oh yes. Who's this? Who's this? What happened? Hello? Darling! What's up?
Yeah, Coco had had a little accident, but once that was cleared away, we could sit outside and start enjoying our Saturday. And lucky for us, the barn come with a pretty mega back garden.
You want the muff, don't you? You want the muff.
Come Monday I was back on it. All the parts had received their final coats of paint and were now dry, so today was the day I could finally wave a sweet goodbye to that air suspension. The WD-40 had worked wonders on 2 bolts. The front airbag come off with no problems. The rear airbag I just had to cut off. Then it come to the big carrier bolts, which took hours. I'm on the rear carrier bolt still. It's just... oh, it's just ridiculous. I've just managed to start breaking it, but it's going at absolute snail's pace. I wonder if I can get... oh god, it's dirty down here. Is it? Oh, I think something just popped in my brain. I am so glad to be able to see the back of this thing. It's like the last little remnants of bracket from the lift. Oh, it's getting looser. Oh, hello. Okay. What? You're out. You're free. There's a nut in there. That's off. But, yeah, that's swollen there. Okay, let's deal with that then. Ow. Oh, off you go. Yes! This is the other pain in my ass at the moment. I can't get this one to budge. It was so much easier on the other van because the other van didn't have anything on top of it. Its name also wasn't Amber. No. No. Okay, so I've been at it a while. It's now dark. So it was what? 3 hours? No, I got that bolt. A good few hours though on this front carrier bolt. 30 seconds with that. My little impact is not designed to do big old bolts. I need to get one of these. Oh my god, it just ripped it off like it was nothing. I can't believe it. I was like, nah, it's not going to do it. I didn't even heat it. I've been gone, come back. So it wasn't even hot. But it got it. Weenie. Once I cut them bits, which that might get off too, we can drop the carrier and we're good to go. Won't be happening tonight, obviously. I'll drop the carrier off, clean everything off. Probably call it a night because there's a bit more faff to do with sort of dropping the axle, so there's room. I also don't have the U-bolts until tomorrow, so Yeah, oh yeah, and I've got a pie that is just screaming at me from the fridge, so... It's trying. So I got the nuts red hot and tried with a big impact again, but... No. Too much spaniel. I can't remember which way these have to go. I mean, I am getting new ones. Should I just cut them off? I opted yes, but it was that time of night where things just get weird. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We do one, we do one. There it goes. That one was slightly anticlimactic. That should mean that that is off. That is also exceedingly heavy. There's the ergonomics. Not. Oh my god. Yay. Why? You prick. One. Right. Shower, pie, and bed. Should we go and get cozy, buddy boy? Hey? Because these bolts are specially shaped to go in the bottom of the area that holds the leaf spring. They've got like a tapered end on them, so I need these, which is annoying because they're quite hard to get off. But with lots of heat and lots of WD, we are getting them. Yeah, now these nuts aren't under tension, they're a little easier to get off. You just have to heat them up to molten temperatures and limber them up. But we were making some headway. That was until... It's just snapped clean in half. What a piece of shit. That's sort of biffed me up again. It's just really not going well at the moment. Oh, and Lenny's engine light come on today. One thing after another. Shit, bollock and wank, frankly. So I had to remove them all by hand, which made it just that bit harder. Marvellous. But I managed to get them all off before heading down to the parts place to pick up my 4 U-bolts. As for Lenny's engine light, that was just a coil pack. It was ordered online, came within the week and fixed that day. Yeah, finally got the right size. Only got 2 of them, but we won't discuss it. So I can get this side bolted all back together now at least, and then start on the other side. There is quite a bit to do on the other side before it gets to this stage again. So. Oh, parts companies. Yeah, so dropping these on, bolting them up, and then tightening up all of the carrier bolts on either side. That should be this side done. I can't wait to drive it. Oh, just being able to get in, start the key and drive. No more pumping up. Yes. Oh, hello. Come on here then. But of course, it wasn't going to be that simple, was it? U-bolts are sort of on the piss a little bit. I was like, why is that? Of course, here's the, I don't know what you call them, holders for the U-bolts on the other truck. just assumed they'd be the same, because why would you make loads of different types of these? But here's the ones off my van. No, they've gone and made different ones, haven't they? So these ones that I just went to the effort of sandblasting and painting up all nice are now useless. I'm stuck with these rusty old pieces of shit. I've had enough of this now. Fucking this is not going well. And it was only gonna get worse.
God, what a day it's been. The sheer level of anger from today. So, parts company messed up again. I, granted, didn't quite learn my lesson and ordered more parts off them, thinking, you know, what's the problem? This U-bolt issue was just a mere one-off, you know, surely they can't mess up on everything I order from them. Oh, but they can. So we're now actually a week late because of, usually I don't like mentioning companies, but Motor Parts Direct Vista. A place that deals in car parts and can't seem to order car parts properly. So, they gave me the wrong U-bolts. Can deal with that, it's fine. It's Mercedes, they're weird with their parts anyway, fine. Then I had to order my other U-bolts, which needed to come over a weekend, again, fine, no problem. Then they got lost, which put me out a day. And then they told me they'd arrive the next day, and they didn't. And then they told me they'd arrive at 2 o'clock the next day, and they didn't. And then they only got me 2, when I needed 4.
Yeah, finally got the right size. Only got 2 of them.
Went and picked up the last set of U-bolts today, and then decided, oh, I need some bushes. How hard are bushes going to be to get? Turns out very hard. Because they knackered up the order. Told me they'd be in by 2 o'clock, so I drove all the way back down there. It's not very close. Just them to be like, oh, actually we only got 1. Just like no, didn't want to call me now, you've got my fucking number now. How the amount of times I've had to come in. No apologies, no admission of we fucked up, nothing. Oh, just incompetent tits. So, I went down the road to Euro Car Parts. On the shelf, dealt with, right there, right then. So we can carry on. Right then, the saga can continue. I tell you what is a sign of age. I cannot kneel on this floor anymore. Right, let's get you in. Somehow. Okay, I've done my resting today. Not like that, you dirty bastards. Where there'll be some voiceover shit like using a screwdriver to line up the drop link and rear anti-roll bar, I've managed to get the bolt in, when in reality I've just turned the camera off and just gone off at it. I win. Oh, the next side's gonna be horrific to get that in. Everything is now on loose. It just needs tightening up. Wheel on, weight putting on it. I've sort of simulated that by putting the jack underneath and it's closed the leaf spring up. And it's good to go. I don't think that's the original bump stop, but I think these bump stops are better. If I hit a bump stop with a leaf spring on, Jesus, I guess I've done something pretty wrong.
So I went round and tightened everything up, then went re-round another 3 or 4 times, checking over everything. These are whacking great lumps of steel and they hold the axle on, and I'd really rather that not fall off. Then it was finally time to put the van's weight back on it.
Oh yeah! It's on. And it's that pretty.
Oh.
Say it. Ride height.
Is it higher?
I don't know, you know, I think it probably sits about the same.
Well done, Daddy.
Yeah, that is quite
It's quite high.
It's quite high, that. Good. How'd you see the bastard side? Oh, she's gonna be a bit wobbly.
What, gonna be wobblier than mine?
Yeah, mine will be like yours. Yeah, man. You having fun? With the one side successfully on, I was now confident enough to take off the rest of the air suspension system. Like the air tank here, the seemingly miles of piping, and the many sensors, actuators and all sorts of bits that lived under the van. I also got onto moving the big heavy brackets that held the airbags to the chassis, something I probably should have done before the leaf went on. Oh, yellow. And not. Not in bad nick. Yeah, just been collecting shit in there. Also, yeah, that's been blocking a drain hole for the chassis. Wonderful. I didn't record a fat lot of the other side swap, but it went about as well as expected. Actually, that bit harder, because I was now fighting a leaf spring on the other side, and the van had devised a few more challenges for me, like having to drill through this locker to get to the other carrier bolt. And for some reason, unbeknown to any sort of logic, on this side, the little hole that you're seeing on the axle there wasn't even there. Whoever fitted the air suspension decided on this side, they'd just weld it completely up. So I spent the best part of 3 hours having to re-drill it out because it's needed for the leaf spring to locate. But after many more hours and many more swear words, the van was back on its wheels and ready for its test drive. That was a strange feeling of just starting the key and going. Oh.
You're massive now.
Yeah. It's taller, isn't it?
It's definitely taller.
Yeah, it feels like a hot rod. It feels so much taller. But then again, I've been driving a Lupo for I don't know how long, so could be another factor right there. This is a good test here, there's a good rut in the road. It's just adjusting itself, you know? Now the roads around here are horrific, so I'm going to take it nice and easy, but it'll be a good sort of test on where we're at. And it's not only testing the new leaves, but also the new shocks. All round, new bushes. We've gone to town. Oh, this is so much better. This road was undrivable. I was worried that the leaves were going to be super bouncy, but because they're the 6-ton rated, and obviously this has constantly got a load on the back, not 6 ton, but you know, it feels great. Oh, I'm so happy. This is panned out. And no more having to pump up every time I need to drive somewhere.
So the suspension overhaul was a success. The dreaded air suspension was dead and buried, and hopefully this aspect of the van can carry on relatively maintenance free. I'll no longer have to wait 10 minutes before every single journey, have to get underneath and problem find and search for leaks every couple of weeks, or have any kind of anxiety of one of the bags going bang. The chassis for now got a quick coat of red oxide, but eventually that'll be getting blasted up and given a complete repaint, along with all the other rusty areas of the van. But I'm just happy to be able to give this job a big old tick off my huge to-do list. Join me next time when the really big jobs start.